have a culture of disempowered men seeking power and a culture of disempowered women seeking power. And see, for the longest time, for about the last 11 years, I've been making videos, doing speeches around the world about this phenomenon of the lack of sex that we see, the lack of pleasure, the lack of men being men, women being women, and the war of the sexes. We're at battle trying to gain dominance, trying to gain power, and somehow sex has become about that. It's become about you stopping the feeling that you feel weak instead of pleasure, instead of sharing. And it was interesting because for the longest time you could say, these angry feminists, these angry men, these angry PUAs, red pill guys, whatever it is, whatever the next phase of bullshit that you're feeding through science and facts, but refusing to experience life with, carries the same script, carries the same shit. It's almost always been men who don't get laid, or angry feminists who don't get laid, don't have sex, and don't find pleasure. But more and more now, when you've said a script enough, people start reading it, people start reciting it, people start doing it, is that there is a culture of disempowered men, disempowered women having sex and saying the philosophy of weakness. The weak men, the weak women philosophy, blame, bullshit, excuses on why you were wrong for loving somebody, why you were wrong for feeling love or caring or empathy, and that you have to be hard, and that women are crazy, men are oversexed, yada, 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 yada. And see, the thing is somebody having good sex doesn't talk shit like that. Somebody who has shared empathy, who has shared a moment with somebody, doesn't even have to be sexual, who shares their social connection with somebody, does not feel blame, does not feel power, does not see socializing as this spectrum to get better than other people because that's what's going to make you feel good, rather than look at the natural driver of wanting to connect, let alone sex. That having sex with somebody is only satisfactory or only good when you dominate, when you control, when you imprison. And don't get me wrong, that can be in sex. That's part of the fucked up lie of all this shit. That's part of it. But see, these guys don't fuck, these women don't fuck, they don't do it for pleasure. And see, that's what we're missing. We are missing that. Because let me tell you something. Man, the last couple days, last couple weeks, I've lived a pretty intense life of seduction. A life where exchange has happened, where connection has happened, and it reawakened again, and plus constantly coaching and working with men who love women, but men who also fuck, men who also have dominance, men who also have power in their masculinity. But the problem with all this other philosophy that comes out of play is that those men don't make sex only about that. See, sex for men, sex for myself, sex for people that are seducers, people that are lovers, are people that give their masculine power, their masculine energy, and I'm only speaking for men here, so that a woman can share her energy, so that her power can come out. My only goal when seducing a woman is not to control her, is not to dominate her. There will be times when that may happen, but that also doesn't mean that she can't do that to me. But it is to release her power, to let her be a woman, to let her be a lady, to let her be all these different things. And man, everybody's so fucking afraid of that. You're so fucking afraid. And why? Why? Why is it that men don't see this? It's ridiculous. I was on a TSL call last night, and something from the Jordan Peterson discussion group on Facebook, what a sack of shit that is, Jesus Christ, comes up of, hypergamy, and then I see something from Liam McRae, who's a legit seduction coach. Listen to him. Comes up about hypergamy, and all these guys jump in with your scientific fucking facts. Let me tell you something. Men that have felt a woman, men who have felt the power of a woman, men who have felt seduction, men who have felt what that is, that transforms you. That's how all of us young men who were boys, who were stupid, that just wanted to fuck, that had hard dicks, came to love women, but also came to know the power of masculinity and what that was, that we didn't have to go find it in a grocery store line when somebody cut us off, or on Facebook, or with a woman who we don't know, just so we can take advantage of her to seek power. And see, disempowered men, disempowered women, what do you want? You just want to be heard. And why can't you fucking say that? Why can't you just say that it hurt when you got fucked over? Why can't you just say and open up that it sucks and it makes you feel pain and lost when you don't get the attention that you think you deserved? But instead you blame. Instead you create a movement of more and more people that look for the meaning in sex that has nothing to do with biology, that has nothing to do with pleasure, that has nothing to do with the story of humanity, of spirit, of what all the philosophers have written about through time, but instead the philosophy of detachment, isolation, hate, control, power, pain. Well, what you seek that is not, we'll say, of your nature, because pleasure is your natural draw, but what you seek power, you seek control, you seek dominance. Why don't you start seeing those as the finger pointing back at you for what you think is missing in your life? Man, there's so much that I have to say on this, and I talk about it endlessly. I feel kind of like a broken record, but instead I'm going to put a playlist up here that isn't about this stuff, that isn't about sex and the war of the sexes. I mean, there's literally hours and hours and hours of this on our YouTube channel and so on, but that is about maybe living a good life and being a good man and what that means, and stepping up to that and taking some responsibility and ownership for yourself, because until you do that, you cannot have 2 feet to stand on. You cannot have an opinion that's worth anything. But what you can have is a really sad reflection that you probably don't see, but the rest of the goddamn world does. And man, that's a sad life to live. In any case, people, sex is beautiful. It's one of the greatest things in the world. As men, we need a place where we can talk and vent, talk about our shit, say the word bitch without being attacked. But at the same time, that doesn't discount the power of femininity, the power of a woman. And same goes for women. You need all of that, but Jesus, man. If we're not connecting, what the fuck are we? In any case, I'm out.